Hello, welcome to another session of YAPIGF training. So, today we are discussing two factor authentication, that's TFA. It's a very important while you are hosting it on the internet, like on the cloud or your own servers or wherever. It's very important. Just username and password, it's no more considered as a secure method. So you need some additional like your bank website or bank portal, your bank application, or after you entering a username and password, you get a notification either through SMS or by email or a authenticator. We will discuss all three today. We are discussing two-factor authentication. First, what are the methods that ERP or any other portal supports? First, that is SMS and email and authenticators. This is the most important one, and we will come to that. Generally, everyone using Google Authenticator because it's completely free and it's very secure also. The major issue with the SMS is first there's a cost involved in that because you need to buy a bundle of SMS like 10,000 from the local ISP or from the internet site. So whenever you send each SMS, there is a charge, even though it's become cheaper and cheaper every day, but there is a cost involved. That's why you spend. And then there is some other issue that you may face while you are traveling. If you are a CRM user, you are traveling all the time, one day in Dubai, other day in Riyadh, and you are seeing, it's often you will miss SMS because you change SIM sometimes network coverage issues and all, you may miss it. So SMS, okay, if you are in a country that you are not much traveling and all, SMS is okay, but still there is a cost involved in that. Email, it's free, mostly free, so you can use that method, but this is okay. Now Google Authenticator, it's completely free, so wherever you have an internet and you have a Google Authenticator on your mobile, you can use this method, and it's like old RSA. If you remember RSA authentication and all, it's the same like that. There will be a Google application, authenticator application. I'll show you the picture if you have, because I cannot show you my mobile on the screen, so I'll show you some pictures. This is the authenticator. See this authenticator here people are using many, for example, for Microsoft 365 people using it, Google GoDaddy and all of people using it. So you just download that and we'll come back to that. So first, so how to set up a two-factor authenticator? That's the first thing that we are going to discuss today. So here on the settings page, you go to settings page, and on system settings come to two-factor authentication. It's a special menu. I'm just disabling it for the session. It's our demo installation, so I don't have a problem with that. So this is enable two-factor authentication. Once you are doing that, enable two-factor authentication, and you will see two options here. One is, oh god, sorry for that. Here there are two options: bypass two-factor and bypass restricted. These two are very important, but I will come back at the end of this session, because it's this IP and all, it will complicate the thing for you, but I will come back to that in this session itself, not in a future session. So there are three options here. One is OTP and SMS and email. So let's go to the first one, SMS. So when you are doing SMS, there is an SMS configuration on the other screen. I'll show you that. So whenever somebody trying to authenticate, it will send you an SMS, and normally you will get the details from your ISP how to configure SMS, and you will do that on SMS settings. Here on the SMS settings, you can see here SMS gateway, message parameters, receiver parameters, etc. So generally in Dubai and all, you will get something like etisalat.ai/some SMS, some kind of, and then you will get a parameters that you need to put it here, your company name and things like that. These parameters, once you put these parameters here, once you set up the SMS, it will go through that. Actually, from the Etisalat or from the Mobili, from Ooredoo or Bahrain Telecom or whatever, you need to purchase a block of SMS. So this block of SMS, whenever you got a 1000 SMS. After that, whenever each SMS send, it will be reduced. So you buy a block of SMS, and you will set up it. And we are using other companies for international SMS like Twilio and other SMS companies. Twilio is one of the most famous. We are using it aggressively. We are a partner of Twilio, so we can use that for international SMSs. We will come back to the other option here. SMS, that is, as you know, like your bank app, once you put the username and password, you will get an SMS, then you authenticate that. That's other one is email. So whenever you are having a user, so I have a user called Dave, so there is an email address for each user. So what happens if you have an email authentication, I'll show you that. So let's go for live demo for that. Two-factor authentication. I'm using another browser for testing, so I'm trying to log in Dave. Now as you see here, email authentication is there. I'm putting this Dave. Okay, so I put username, password. See here, verification code has been sent to your registered email address. So what is the registered email address? That's dave@yapgov.com. So the mail, it should be faster because we are using the best email gateway. So it's reached here already. So what is the verification code? 904929. 904929. And I verified. That's simple. So I'm logging on. That's it. You are into this. So now this is email. If you ask me, is the email is the best option? I would say no. The Google authentication is the best authenticator. So I'll go for eOTP. That's called OTP app. Which OTP app I am using? Google authentication. It's just a name. Don't be concerned about this. You can put any name here because there are so many applications, so many apps that using this same technology, same RFQ they are all using. So it can be other authenticators, but Google, it's everywhere. So its reliability is much more. So now I put Google Authenticator. See what will happen if you put a Google Authenticator. The procedure is you install one Google Authenticator on your mobile phone. So it will be like this. On the Play Store, Google Authenticator is there. As I said, I cannot show you my mobile. So this is the Google Authenticator. You install it on your mobile phone, or on Apple also it is there. Then once you are trying to log in with any user, once you activated the EOTP, I mean the Google Authenticator, first time, because there is two steps in this. The first time it will send you an instruction how to set up your Google Authenticator. A QR code it will send you. So let me see the mail, because first time you need to depend on the mail. Then you don't need a mail, then everything will be on your app. So here, look, there's a notification came. So here, if you click at this link, by the way, this link, if you have a problem with this link at all, you follow us on Twitter. We had some issues, we resolved it. You can see it on the Twitter, and we our ERP Gulf site, or you can we are continuously putting these tips, ERP Next Tips. So there's a hashtag called ERP Next Tips. You can follow that. That is ERP Next Tips. That's the hashtag. So here, QR code, you see the QR code here, and you just scan on the authenticator. You just scan this code. Then after that, you will get your own application with a number, and it will change every minute. So here I set up an authentication for my I'm doing the setup now on my mobile, so you cannot see that, but Google Authenticator, just hold on while I am doing it. Okay, I scanned QR code. Now I can see the number, that's 229199. So now once I have done, I will put it here, 229199. That is the code I received. Okay, now I logged on. So next time you don't need to go for all these steps. What it will do, once you log in, you will straight away see the code on the app. Here next time there is no QR code and all, because we already set it up. Now this is new code I received on my mobile, 526590. 5265. Oh, sorry. And the next minute it's changed, so I need to change it now. Now it is like that. So it is as I show you. This is the way it's showing. Nowadays you may have many of the, especially if you are using email service like Microsoft 365, Google and other things, you use it. Or GoDaddy also, your hosting providers also, they are all using the same. So you can use the same. It's very safe, because you are logging on your computer, and your code coming on your mobile. So even you miss your computer, somebody took your computer, somebody using it, the authentication code is coming on your mobile only, so they cannot get that easy access. That's one thing. And when when we were setting it up, I told you there are two options here. You can see two options, that is two-factor authentication. You can see here two options. One is bypass two-factor authentication for users who log in from restricted IP addresses. Second one, bypass restricted IP address check if two-factor authentication enabled. How it is important with this both two? I'll tell you. First, this is bypass would login from restricted IP addresses. This means of course, many of you are not familiar with these IP things, because generally programmers, accountant and all our customers, they generally don't understand much about what is IP address and all. That's, you can call our support and we will help you to find that. But here I'll tell you that some basics. This is your IP address. This is your IP address. And if you are on cloud, this IP address is going as your source IP address. But if you are a regular, if you just have a local internet connection like fiber, broadband and all, this always keeps changing. This keeps changing. So you don't know what is your IP. But many companies, many of our customers, they have dedicated IP addresses. They know their IP addresses. So the staff sitting inside their company, they can say always the traffic is coming from. By the way, I'll tell you, we in ERP Gulf, we always have country-wise restrictions, and according to customer, most of them say that we need access only from Dubai, only from Saudi, and some only few people traveling outside. I will tell you. So we have country-wise restrictions, but that's another part we can discuss on later. But normally, if you have a static IP address or you have a block of IP address that you know, so what you can do for a user, for each user, there is an option here. It's called security. In this security, there is something called restrict IP. You see this? Restrict IP. So what is your IP address here? 7800.211.199. I put it here. This is your company inside. So if the source IP is this, that's pretty sure that the user is your own person. So you just use, they can just use IP address, their own username and password. You will not ask them to put a third SMS authentication, email authentication, or Google authenticators, because they are already inside your company. So you don't need that restriction. It will ease things. Here you can put multiple IP address, like with a comma you can put multiple IP, or you can just put this here like this. So all the remaining part will be same. So I'm just putting it here. So this is your restrict IP. Restrict IP is not on the main menu. It is for each users. I'll tell you why why that's important. So here, if I put here two-factor authentication and bypass two-factor authentication from restrict IP, that means the user sitting inside the company. So don't ask him for third-party authentication or second authentication or whatever. And it's not two-factor authentication. I confused. So here, login. When I am entering here, Dave again. So when we are entering, it will not ask. That's the main thing. So if you are inside the company, well, it will not ask for two. But if you are outside, working from home, working from outside, it will ask. That's the first option available for TFA. This one, bypass two-factor authentication for users. This option, you saw that how it is important, or not important for that matter. This second option, this one will be very important actually. This is just opposite. If you are sitting inside the company, it will not ask for two-factor authentication. But if you put a restrict IP, like you put here all the you put here all the IPs of Saudi Arabia, all the IPs of Saudi Arabia. Then it will not, you take it here. Even in Saudi Arabia, it will ask because you didn't put it here. If you click it, it will not ask if you are in Saudi Arabia. It's like that. But here, and the same user traveling to, let's say, US. He is traveling to US. So what will happen? If he is outside the country or outside the IP addresses, it will allow him to use ERP if he has the two-factor authentication. Like this is in normal case, if this is the only IP and I put some different IP, let's say I put here 8.8.8.8. It's some other IP. It's actually Google. I put this IP. So what happens if I put it here and there is this not applicable, let's say. So what will happen? If you try to access the ERP site, it will straight away say no. Access not allowed from this IP address. Why? Because only this particular IP is allowed to access, this 8.8, or any other IP will not access. Our IP is not 8.8, our IP is 7800. So what happens if you put this one, if you put two-factor authentication and bypass restricted IP address check, if two-factor authentication enabled, what will happen? While he is traveling outside, he is in the US. And it will allow access only if this user is authenticated through a Google Authenticator. Otherwise, it will not access. So these both are important. These both options are important. First one, again, I repeat. I'm sorry, I'm repeating because many of our clients, our listeners don't understand IP addresses. That's not wrong. You can call us. We will explain you what is your IP, what is your country IP, what is other IP, how to subnet it, how to make it a block, what is private IP, what is public IP, and all. We have enough network engineers available here. You can call us. We will explain you. But for the sake of just understanding for you guys, this is restricted IP. If you are inside your company or inside your country, you don't want to impose two-factor authentication, check this bypass. And if you are outside the country, then you want to allow only if the two-factor authentication is enabled. That's the second option. Both options are very important. And at the end, I want to tell you some other security setting. These security settings are also important. Simultaneous sessions, login after, login before. Some security settings. This security setting, session expiry, because keep this as low as possible, because in the on your desk, if it's a huge office, and if you keep your desk open, and the session expiry, if you put it, normally we put it 3, because 3 or 4 before lunch and after lunch. When you're going for lunch, if you forget, even you forget, then it will be automatically off, because session expiry mobile, allow only one session, allow login user mobile, allow login using username. These are all very important. Maybe we can have another session, but it's all obvious. If you just read it, you will understand. So I'm not explaining it now, but if you need it, an explanation, or if you have a doubt, you can always send mail to training at erpnext.com, erpgulf.com. Okay, both are we are implementing ERP Next for the Gulf countries. You can always contact us on training at ERP, or you can follow our YouTube channel ERP Gulf, or on the Twitter you can follow us on ERP Gulf. Thank you for joining. We will see you in the next session.